I like changed the office around just a little bit so that I could switch between work and my regular PC a bit easier, because looks like we're gonna be in this for a bit longer. It's phenomenal. Are we good? Oh, I didn't get why do you sometimes autocomplete and sometimes not? That's really sometimes autocomplete and sometimes not. That's really sometimes autocomplete and sometimes not. That's really Alright. Good enough. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn through the rest at XP and then probably call it a night, because I want to do something, but yeah. Unfortunately, what the fuck? Oh, right, I was looking at the wrong light. Yeah, the weeks haven't been too much slower, and my headphones weren't plugged in correctly. I wasn't hearing the UI sounds there for some reason. I think like the left and right. Actually, no, I don't know what the hell happened there. Because if the left and right were out, I would have thought that I would hear the UI, not the... whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn through the XP because, wait, no, that's not what I was talking about. Sorry, the moment I sensed audio problems, my brain was like, no, God, no, oh, fuck, please, no. Yeah, unfortunately, like, this week, the last few weeks, or, sorry, this last week in particular hasn't been too much slower, and just with things going down here at the moment, don't have the extra energy to really try and stream Strikers tonight. But I sure as hell can sit in queue. Oh. Sure as hell can sit in queue and do some leveling bullshit. Fuck, is there a... Nowhere you can repair down here? I didn't think there was anywhere in the pillars that you could either. Oh no, yeah, no, there's the market area. Should have remembered that. Should have remembered to also remove that too. That would have been helpful. All that stuff receives, like, durability damage at different rates. Oh. I've got better armor already. Oh, of course, I'm like 54. God. What's the point I was going to make after that? Oh, yeah. Because, I didn't think I'd been switching armor that frequently, so, like... That's actually kind of surprising that it got to that. Right, we go to Abelathia's Spine to not Azisla. Wait, is it not in Abalathia's spine? Oh, it's Dravania, right. Yeah, that was silly. I don't know why I thought that was in Abalathia's spine. It's like in the complete wrong direction. Alright. Okay. Got a good couple of 54s there, and it looks like we've got people doing world quests, which is nice. Yep, here comes the cavalry. And a blue mage among them, of course. It really wouldn't be doing fates in Heavensward if there weren't some blue mages doing bullshit. Wait, what? Really? Oh, no. It has the same range as my, ranged poke. For a second I thought, Plunge wasn't reaching quite as far as that, but no. It could also be that I'm just used to, the warrior's, gap closer. Although, despite all my mitigation, I'm still just a tank in a queue. Uh-huh. How's it going, newest girl? So, I am very deflated today. Thought this week was going to be a good week, and turns out to be incredibly shit. I'm new into having a good time if you like. Oh. I thought I had more time. Oh well. So much for that. God, do I risk moving the goddamn camera? No, I really don't. In no universe is me having to restart Streamlabs good idea. Which reminds me, I also need to ditch Streamlabs. Found out some shit about it today that I'm honestly really disappointed in myself for not looking into more. But yeah, Logitech can suck a dick, and I'm not supporting Streamlabs OBS anymore. I have a dad joke to lift your spirits. Okay, sure, hit me. I know that one. I'm trying to think of where I first heard that. I think it might have been at school. I actually don't remember. Yeah, I think it might have been, honestly. Oh shit, actually that reminds me. Okay, no, good. I heard it again recently in a Zeppler video. She strikes me as the kind of person that would use that joke. She does seem to try and work puns into her videos wherever she can. Oh my god, really? Yeah, of course you would. That certainly rings true. I forgot how little MP you get unless you're doing the regular combo. second part of the AoE combo gives MP too, but it's like, well, yeah, I figured as much. In fact, I seem to recall that reading through its ability list, but as you said, it's a ways off. Scuffed opening from the nature of the cooldowns went up. Could have been. We did pull pretty hard early on, so wouldn't put it past them, honestly. Hold on a sec. Let's see if I can move this shit over so it's a bit more comfortable. Shit tonight. Oh, the flow of this dungeon is kind of weird. Rusty? What does that mean? Oh my god, just... That's a fucking blood weapon. GCD gone. Thank you, video game. Come back. God. Holy shit. Dizzy D, thank you for the raid. Welcome. I'm playing Dark Knight because I have had a bad day and can't think of anything else to do. Welcome. Holy crap. Thank you... Wait, what the hell? Oh no. My fucking overlays stopped working now? That's good. I love that. Thank you for pointing me out that my latest follower thing is apparently broken. I don't know when that happened. Thank you, Mumbo, for... I said 420, and that... sorry. 240 for the follow as well. Holy shit. Sorry, I will catch up once I beat the boss. This is a bit too much for me to handle right now. Because I'm still learning Dark Knight, I'm not very good at it. And, I'm also not used to 20 plus people being in my stream. This turn of the night around, I'll tell you what. No, you're all good. I super appreciate it. And the fact that I haven't, like, fallen over because of what just happened is probably an indication that I'm doing something right. Holy crap. Stonus Rice up. Ugh. I don't even partake, and, like, that was my first... My brain was just in such autopilot mode that I saw 240 and went, ah yes, the weed number. You know. Have any motivational quotes for me? Blaze it, don't worry. Dark Knights, I'm not very okay at the game. It's okay, I'm not very good at the game either. Well, I appreciate the solidarity, but unfortunately I don't think my party would appreciate it. If I just went, oh, okay, it's fine, I'm shit. It's fine, I'm bad, and then just fucked up the dungeon. Please don't break. We can do it. Let's break the streamer. Honestly, today has already broken me. I don't know if you can break me anymore, but you're welcome to try. I don't know why I'm wishing this on myself. That's really silly. Why in the hell would I actually do I'm really glad this scholar is, like, on the ball, because I don't think I used the defense. I think I used one defensive in the last, like, since the raid, probably. Oh, boy. The real D would never say that. The real D once wrestled a bear. Whoa. Oh, jeez. It sounds like D is formidable. Please don't tell me about that. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna have my head on straight for one boss, and then I'll catch up with everyone. I really appreciate everyone who is in here right now and willing to put up with me, like, struggling to react to everything that's happening right now. Those are not moving. Goody. Oh, dancer, please. I should not be standing right next to the healer. Fuck, I don't remember what that mechanic is. Okay. Right, it's the barrage of shit. God. God. Oh no. Why me again? Tiaman, I know I've been grinding this dungeon since I was 53, but you don't have to, like, single me out with all of those mechanics. I get it. Oh yeah, we're not looking like we're gonna have problems. I just really don't want to be the cause of those problems, if I'm being honest. Local streamer gets bullied by boss. I mean, yeah. I'm playing a tank. Isn't that like... I think that's basically what you sign up for, right? Gonna miss a phase of... Oh, no, we're not. And no one is moving. See, in a situation like this, I don't know whether to move the boss early, because I feel like I drag over the meteors for people who aren't, like, paying attention. Fuck it. We did it. Okay. Cool. Alright, where the fuck is Moobot? I hope you've been paying attention. You have. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oop. That scholar's getting it instantly, because they were a boss. Okay. Right. Now let me catch up. Holy crap. Dizzy, thank you once again for the raid. I really appreciate that. And also, thank yous to... Where? There it is. Mischievous, I like that spelling. 1, thank you for the follow. Mombo240. Aries Dimension, and, almost called that Tanver... Now I'm trying to mispronounce the thing I mispronounced initially, and it's just word salad. Tarven Izv. Thank you for the follow. Wow, okay, let me catch up on chat real quick, because holy fuck, that flew. Say that now, but all good boys and girls eventually have fun, find themselves in trivia. So trivia takes you all, and you'd say that. Sorry. That's going over my head. Don't make fun of Trivia Garden, they have it rough enough. You got this. Please don't run with scissors. What? Who's running with scissors? Mischievous, none of that in my chat, thank you. Danger everyone else. None of that, thank you. You can take my channel points, you can take my scissors, but you'll never have my sheep. Yeah, I can take all the sheep. I tank so I can feel something. Oof. Newest girl. There's like tens of people here who haven't been to this stream before. Let's dial back the nihilism? No, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's close enough though. Latest follow seems to be catching up as well. Yeah, it has. Which Dizzy D, thank you also for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thanks I don't deal in false advertising. Try healing in Heavenswood. You'll feel then. I'm not a healer, too tank and melee brained. I'm gonna be doing a healer next. After I get Dark Knight to 80, I'm gonna try Astrologian. Since that apparently is gonna be changing, I want to get a feel for it before it actually changes. I'm practicing my edge for Reaper. That's fair. Have I played FF8? No. Though FF8 is like the one Final Fantasy game outside of this one, for obvious reasons. FF8 is the only Final Fantasy game I know a lot of through... Wait. Oh, okay. Gardens. Yes, right. Sorry, I think the only one I know off the top of my head is Galbadia? That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think garden, and I don't know if that's FF8 or not, or I'm misremembering something else. I think I cut myself on your pauldrons. Nice work. That would be consistent. That is a garden in FF8, right. I don't know, FF8 is weird. I know a lot about it through pure osmosis, and also someone who did a video of it a very long time ago. God, I can't even remember the context of it, but it was like it's ancient YouTube stuff. So, oh shit! Actually, it might have been Spoony. Yeah. No, yeah, it would have been. Yeah. Spoon did the best video on FF8. I mean, you're probably not entirely wrong, but I think more hindsight on Spoony in general has like kind of made me realize that he was very negative about things that maybe deserved a little bit more charity in the grand scheme of things. But he has a 2-hour spiel on the draw system. I remember that very vividly now that I think about it. Something like this. I've been trying to get her to watch it, but she loves FF8, so we won't watch it. I mean, okay, granted, I have not watched it in a very long time, because, again, that review slash whatever is probably... God, like... 10? No, it must be more than that. That's like 13 years old. Because that was before I graduated high school. Having finished FF8, I can say its combat is just busted. Or, okay, like busted as in it's very exploitable, or busted as in it doesn't, like, mesh. Don't forget to keep back up. You are right. Thank you, Miss Girl. Appreciate that. You can exploit the hell out of FFA. Yeah, like, one of the details I do remember about it is that, like, you can basically get a lot of different spells from items, and one of the ways, like, that it becomes a little bit exploitable is that you can get, like, really good... You can get items that end up turning into really good spells and just have, like, tons of them. Key to winning never level. Oh, that's not a good sign. Although for me, who doesn't like grinding in traditional RPGs, is probably a good thing for me. But true for the card games. It's the one FF game that the higher the level you are, the harder the game is. Right, and I guess at each level it expects a specific, certain amount of like throughput and defensive capability, and thus it's generally a lot harder as you go through the game because it expects more out of you, and if you don't meet that standard, then yeah, right. Speedrunners finish the game at like level 16. Triple Triad is key to exploiting the game. Yeah, that's like, again, that's like the one thing I seem to recall pretty clearly about how that game functions. By the way, how am I finding 14? I'm really enjoying it. So I guess for context, I have 2 characters at the end of Shadowbringers. I have 1 character. Oh, hold on. How about no? So yeah, I have 2 characters that have at least a job in level 80, and I've got a couple of other characters who are at least past. Yes, past Heaven's Door. I have Black Mage at 80 as well, and I have Warrior at 80. So I'm enjoying the game quite a bit. Finished at like 35. Damn. Well, I guess I don't know the FF8 enough to say whether that's high or low, but 16 for speedrunners, that seems pretty damn small. Probably unavoidable too. I finished ARR before the story. Yeah, so like, I played through from ARR to Shadowbringers twice, and I'm looking to do that probably a 3rd and 4th time with other characters, because I like the idea of having 4 characters fleshed out. Plus, like, I'm really curious about, like, the storytelling in this game. It was one of the things that, like, drew me in. So, I wanted to go, I knew I was probably going to go through it multiple times just so I could, like, experience it multiple times and have, like, perspective going back through it and whatnot. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. There's a shitload to do, which I guess is a pretty decent thing. Like, there's still a bunch of raids I want to go through before, or there's still a couple of raids I want to go through before Endwalker. There's Astrologium, which I want to finish before Endwalker. I don't know, it's just a lot of other miscellaneous stuff. I've got some friends of mine who are raiding, although at the moment my schedule just doesn't really, like, mesh well with them. But I'm hoping at some point I can get back to doing Savages as well. What about everyone else? I'm actually really curious. Did you all just come from playing 14 or another Final Fantasy game, or? Sorry to read and run, but I gotta grab food and head to work. I hope you have a fantastic treat. No worries at all, D. No, you don't need to apologize for that. I really appreciate the raid nonetheless, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Yeah, out of curiosity, I guess, like, Dee's leaving, so, you know, she doesn't need to, like, respond to that, but, like, was D streaming 14? Is D, like, a big 14, like, FF person? I played 6, 8, 14, 7R, 7 DLC on the stream, so they're from a bit of everywhere. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Cool. It's good for context. Because I am definitely... I mean, God. Like, I say, like, oh, it'd be cool to look through other Final Fantasy games, but not only have I touched none of them, I have so many games that I want to play on stream already that, like, I'm not getting to that for a while. And that's a long-ass time investment, too. D is the best. I will have to follow D after this stream, then. But yeah, plan for tonight is just to have a little bit of a... Well, I guess it's going to be less chill now that there's, like, 14 of you in here. Yeah, I'm just kind of leveling Dark Knight. Mostly because I've heard, again, story, it's probably one of the... He probably has one of the best job quests in the game, so... Absolutely looking forward to getting that. Yeah, I really appreciate that, D. I hope you have a... I hope you have a... I'm trying to think of a word. Yeah, my brain is mush. That raid destroyed me. You guys didn't even need to try, just ending up here destroyed me. But nonetheless, I really appreciate it, D. Hope you have a good day. Oh my god, she ad-libs all the dialogue into the story altogether. She's turned the White Mage quest chain into a whole video. I mean, I believe that. What little I know about the, well, I guess it's not White Mages specifically, but, what little I have experienced of the, Conjurings, which I have experienced through the Black Mage quest, the job quests, yeah, that doesn't actually strike me as far off what it's actually like, because, the one character you interact with, at the very beginning of your interactions with them is... Really? Okay, thank you. Christ. It's like Chocobo was chasing that down for yards. The Dark Knight job quest, a 10 out of 10. I mean, the 30 to 50 quest line, probably easily the best job quest in the game. The only thing that's comparable, in my opinion, is the Black Mage and the Warrior ones. And even then, they don't really hit the depths that Dark Knight does, in my opinion. They're close, because they have, like, similar kind of, like, thematic things going on. But Dark Knight gets to do a lot more interesting stuff just because of how they work. I sent you a friend request. You did... Oh, did you want to ignore... accept it? Oh, okay. People make friends in chat. I don't really enjoy the BLM quest by level class. Okay, so, personally... I think the 30 to 50 Black Mage quests, really good. I think there was a massive missed opportunity in, I want to say it was 50 to 60. And it's something really small. But there was this whole thing going on of, like, this conjurer comes up to you, he's like, you typical Black Mages, you just blow up everything before you even, like, think. Like, no negotiation skills, blah, blah, blah. And the whole point of the quest is to kind of show that, like, or one of the through lines of that quest is to show that Black Magic, is not as, it is dangerous in the wrong hands. Like, it can be a problem in the wrong hands. It's all about the person that's actually wielding said magic. And one of the things that happens during that quest line is me not using mitigation, yet again. One of the things that happens during that quest line is you are faced with a bunch of mages that are just literally killing themselves casting really advanced black magic. And the quest has you just kill them, but then the conjurer comes up to you and says, see, like, you know, does the whole spiel again about, you black mages can't actually be trusted because you just kill everything. And I was like, well, yeah, we did, though. Like, that wasn't really a rebuttal, or there wasn't anything that happened in that quest that was like, well, no, that wasn't me. And you eventually find out the whole thing about these particular mages just basically burning themselves from the inside out, casting black magic. And it was like, why wasn't there this, there's a really interesting opportunity there to place like a debuff on the enemies that were casting against you in that quest, to show this like stacking dot, so that even the player is like, wait a minute, I'm barely killing them, they're just casting and killing themselves. This has got nothing to do with me. And yet the Conjurer, and then the Conjurer comes up and it's, you know, that classic like, well, it wasn't me, and he's like, oh yes, it wasn't you, the black mage who wields powers beyond the fucking cosmos. Of course. I guess they just cast themselves to death. Like, there was just a real missed opportunity to bring home the storytelling and mechanics, in my opinion. And it really bothered me, because I had seen great storytelling like that elsewhere. And granted, a lot of that was much later in the game, and probably is the result of a lot of hindsight, right? I can't expect that storytelling of back in Heavensward to match Shadowbringers necessarily, right? But I don't know. I'm a sucker for game design and narrative design that really blends narrative and game mechanics. So when I see something like that, like this missed opportunity to do something like really clever with how you communicate what's going on to the player, it's just kind of a bummer. Anyway, that was my once in a stream rant about narrative design. If you weren't entirely put off by that, hit the follow button, because I do that regularly. Okay, hang on a second. White Mage in AWR is mediocre, White Mage in HW is crap, White Mage in Stormblood is amazing, and White Mage in Shadowbringers is... dude, it's feels goodness. Okay, well that's good. At least it actually got better. Melky, thank you for the follow. I'm glad that little bit of advertisement solved something. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely would depend on the game, but I can 100% believe that if someone heard me say that about a game that's like got almost nothing to do with narrative or narrative much at all, that they would like immediately just leave the stream like, I'm not listening to this fucking nerd talk about storytelling in the game I don't care about storytelling in. Anyway, torching themselves. He does come around later though. Well, yeah, so that character does come around later, but the revelation that the mages are all killing themselves by casting black magic is delivered only through dialogue when you're in combat with them, and even looking at the dialogue that's said, it feels like there should have been something in the combat we had to make us feel off, like, hang on a minute, I did not kill them, they just dropped. That's like my main thing, that you absolutely could have instilled even, like, doubt in the player's mind. Again, I'm not using mitigation, like a great tank. So, to some degree, I am very much used to Warrior and being able to keep myself up at, like, the lady, so this has also been an adjustment period of, like, oh, I can't self-heal my way out of defensing badly. I felt that part was believable because he was all holier than thou. Well, but the problem with that moment is that even though he is being holier than thou, he was 100% correct. Now, granted, we didn't have a choice, but like, the game just told us to kill them. And it's that classic thing of the video game telling you to do a thing and then trying to make you feel bad for doing that thing, just because the thing you were told to do was bad. And not actually trying to, like, make the player feel that. Like, outside of telling them that they should, more or less. It's that kind of thing. He does eventually come around, and it is, like, it is satisfying, obviously, see him do that. But it would have been a whole lot better to add this mystery to it of, like, well, even I don't know what's going on here, and I guess I can't 100% be sure that it was me. Whereas where it is actually you, it's just, oh no, he's right. Yeah. It felt a bit hollow and unsatisfying. I wouldn't say it was entirely unsatisfying. I just would I would say that there was definitely missed opportunities to like really bring it home, right? Great, I wasted blood weapon for that. Awesome, right before the boss too. Love using my DPS equivalents like that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Shut up, oh, god damn it. I can honestly say that I would have loved to see a strong narrative for all the, oh, sorry, we weren't finished. God. For all the classes from 1 to 80, which I know they won't do since we get several classes at a much higher level. Yeah, like, honestly, there is something lost in, I was thinking about this today. There is something lost in, not having the classes for every job that comes out. Because I think one of the things that's really cool about the starting experience with any of the jobs that start off at level 1 is that you are actually just learning a bunch of stuff that everyone else does, and you're striving to become better, and then you hit the pinnacle. And when you hit the pinnacle, suddenly it's like, well, I want to go even further beyond. Let me tell you about art of fighting that has been lost to the eons, and like it makes you feel that improvement. And no, you need to stack up for this, please. Like it makes you feel like you are stepping into a different realm of fighting and stuff. Art of fighting. God damn it. Like, it really does make you feel like you're stepping into the realm of different warriors. Like, a different class of warrior. No pun. But yeah. Obviously, it can't happen for everyone. And it would be unreasonable for them to have to add, you know, 1 to 80 or 1 to 90 for everything they've added up to this point. It's, yeah. How do you express all that through a nod? Let's face it, it's your highest interaction your character gets most of the time. I actually forgot what that was in reference to. I must apologize. This conversation has been going. Old world text Batman. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna knock it. Someone feels passionate about it, which I appreciate. I hate that they make the Black Mage the Masters of Elements, but they have shoehorned White Mage into the role of being a damn hippie and be tied to the elements. I mean, why? We have churches with the Furies, and the 12 who are real according to the law. Why not have them literally be part of the church they can even tell? Huh. I guess having not, like, really gotten to the point that I'm, like, interacting with a lot of, like, the White Mage stuff, that I never actually considered that. Like, I mean, Black Mages aren't... Like, Black Mages use particular elements, but I wouldn't say that Black Mages are, like... I wouldn't call them Masters of Elements. I would just say they're Masters of Destruction, whose purest forms happen to, be easily conceivable as elements. Yeah, I never really considered that. Because, like, I guess the thing like, so my background is, like, I've played like 5 years of WoW, starting from Warlords of Draenor to Battle of Azeroth. So, like, in terms of MMOs and stuff, like, that's my only reference point. And in terms of, like, in terms of other video games and how they kind of, like, depict Masters of the Arcane, Masters of purer arts, I guess you call them, like, creation, destruction, and stuff like that. Someone like a Black Mage who purports to take their magics from the void, being like fire, lightning, and all of this stuff, doesn't like gel immediately. Yeah, I've never actually really thought much about that, because when you get down to it, like destruction, even Astral and Umbral aren't really good analogies. Don't really map on to those two like they would. So I couldn't even say that, like, it could do a spin on, like, the Astrologian stuff, who seems to be very much about the Astral and Umbral. That's curious. Hey, Charles, how's it going? Alright. Hello again, Tiamat. This is the last time I'll be here, because I'm 55 now. So, it was good to fight against you. I hope there's no hard feelings and you don't target me with every mechanic again. That would be embarrassing. I say as I get my mitigation up after the hit has hit. Ah. Wow, we've got way bigger DPS than we did last run through. Oh, shit. I knew exactly what you were doing. This should pretty much be it. Wait, what? Oh, fuck. Did I not roll on? Nice. Something about Blood Lily can't heal me if I TBN through everything. Ha! Touché. Yeah, Skull gets that as well. Okay. Yeah, like... The thing is that, like... Okay, let's take Black Mage and think about, like, what we can do, with that, right? Like, they take their powers from the Void, well... God, I wish I could revisit Black Mage, like, job quest text again, because, like, at the beginning of, well, throughout the Thaumaturge's questline, and then once you get to, the start of the Black Mage questline, is obviously all of the stuff that's like, this is what it means to be a Black Mage, this is what it means to be a Thaumaturge. And I guess not being, like, super familiar with, like, the Final Fantasy universe as it was, Like, I can't think of anything else that's, like, that would still, like, kind of give the same feeling. Because, like, the quintessential Black Mage spell, as I understand it, or, like, one of the, maybe, is, like, Meteor. Like, Meteor is a pretty big deal when it comes to Black Mages. Because it's basically the ultimate form of destruction. Shit, I just knocked something over. Actually, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna let this play for a second. I'm gonna read Mischievous's thing. No, not Meteor. Meteor has too many spaces in the name. Touche. I hate that they make the Black Mage the Masters of Elements, but they have shoehorned. Oh, okay. Sorry. This isn't specifically about Black Mages. It's about like White Mages, like position compared to them. I understand. Okay. Churches with Furies and the 12 who are real according to the law will have them literally be part of the church. They can even tell you about how to properly worship, so as to not blindly create primals. But no, be one with nature, strip off your clothes and lie down in the weeds and dirt. Yeah, okay, Nidhogg. Alright, calm down, buddy. Sorry. It's getting warm in here. Black magic and white magic are both banned magics, basically, because of their possibility to kill and basically end the world. Wait, white magic too? Huh. Nidhogg needs a cuddle. It's far nicer than what I would prescribe. Yeah, I guess, so I have to kind of walk that back then. I don't know enough about white mages to really make, like, a kind of statement on that. But I can definitely see, like, where that comes from. Much in the same way that, like, the immediate thought when I think black mage is, like, this quintessential, like, essence of destruction. I can see how, like, a quintessential essence of creation or healing or anything like that would probably lend itself more to, like, a typical clergyman than it would, like, not quite shamanistic, but a reverence of the elements and the things that it gives. I can definitely see that's sort of, yeah. On the other hand, though, it probably makes thematic sense that, like, those manifestations are, like, focused on the elements, because they're, like, probably the way that most people experientially feel those concepts. So them being tied to those things kind of makes sense. Or at least I could buy it, you know. Black Mage and BLM does get Meteor as their LB3 also. Oh yeah, I'm aware of that. Ties into the War of the Magi and Law too, which is the 5th century. White magic also, that's why there's so few white mages and only conjurers. Yeah, which I guess goes for all of the jobs really, is like, hey, you can't be this thing because fucking we've had experience with it and it sucks when bad people do shit with it. From memory, both white and black magic are basically outlawed. It's a JRPG, church bad, and the iconic FF healer has to be good. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know, like... Hell, both levels of extremes are just a handful of... Oh, shit. Okay. Guess we're sitting down for a second. So I'm not going in without a healer. Just a handful of crystals away from summoning the next world-ending primals. Right. Well, I mean... It's also why red mages are so ostracized since they draw on both white and black magic, and why they also need a focus to cast any of their spells. Right. since it's so unstable to use both together. Your argument would make more sense in the narrative, except that Conjurers is a class, and you specifically pick up White Mage, which was a practitioner of the ancient magic. So why then do they fall right back into making you listening to the voices on the wind? Well, I mean, if I were to take a just wild shot in the dark of like what they're trying to do with that, I could believe that the Conjurers Guild are probably more like, no, we're gonna rein you in. We're not letting you go down the pure path, because fucking see what happens to that, and don't want any of that. Like, again, it would actually have a lot of parallels with the Black Mage questline, where the final thing in, like, the culmination of all of the Black Mage quests is basically one of the Black Mages saying, hey, we need to preserve this knowledge so that we can protect it. And everyone else in the Thaumaturgers Guild, or a lot of people in the Thaumaturgers Guild, are like, that's stupid. Someone will find it, and they will use it. Destroy it. And you basically have to state your case that it is better to keep that knowledge to be able to circumvent it and have the know-how than it is to just wipe it away, and the next time someone comes up with it, we're up shit's creek. I could 100% buy that, like, the Conjurers Guild probably plays a similar angle in terms of being like, look, white magic is pretty dangerous, so if you do this white magic in this strict way that doesn't go down that path, then we're all good. And obviously I can't speak to whether it, like, how it does that storytelling, like whether it actually does something interesting with that or if it's very boring. But yeah, I have a healer friend now. I have a healer friend, and they're also a white mage. Hell yeah. Let's do it. I don't know, specifically since I never leveled White Mage yet, I'm just drawing knowledge on my general knowledge from like 5 years. Fair enough. Yeah. And, like, Mischievous, I guess, like, for context, like, whatever I say is obviously going to be ill-informed to some degree. It will take time for me to get to the point that I can be like, ah, yes, okay, I understand what you mean now, and actually have a conversation about it. The only thing I can really draw on is, like, parallels I notice with what you're saying and stuff like that. Nothing that really, like... Nothing that would really say to you, like, oh, I completely disagree, you're wrong, or interpreted things incorrectly. Ow. It's got elements. It's got something to do with elements, right? And oh boy, is the law on the elementals super fucked. Yeah, it sure fucking is. What very little I know of it is not good. Words. Words good. Hey buddy, how about no? Like, I think the literal only thing I know about, like, the true, like, potency of white magic is a spoiler for the original FF7, I think. So I can at least grasp that, like, okay, like, the extreme of white magic is probably dangerous in very different ways, but, like, similarly, probably from, like, a universal standpoint, or, like, an in-universe standpoint, like, can pose a threat as well. I'm just keen for Endwalkers and Oceanic servers. That'll be good. I still don't know if I'm gonna transfer my characters over there. I need to think about that a bit more. Ow. It's weird. I've never been hit by that before, not sprinting. Ow. Been hit by that before, though. Oh my god, a summoner is using their, Emerald Carbuncle. Or Garuda. It's a miracle. I don't know why, but even in sometimes really high-level dungeons, I don't see a lot of summoners actually switching pets. Which is a shame to me, because, like, the extra AoE damage you get from that pet is kind of bonkers. Okay, that seems like deep conversation I need to read correctly and not during a dungeon to respond to. Or at least, like, taking into consideration well, because I don't want to say something stupid about, like, stuff I don't know about. Why would you stun them like that? Please. No logs or in-game data makes it hard to know if you're doing things right or wrong without going well out of your way to find up-to-date guides. Yeah, like... Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this on stream plenty of times before. I definitely think that, like, some classes in particular, or some jobs in particular, have some pretty clear issues communicating what... how you should be playing. And, like, there are obviously a lot of, like, really good things that the game does to kind of teach you. Because, for example, like, the fact that all of these buttons say potency and not, like, the actual damage that you do means that you're dealing with, like, very specific numbers all the time, and it's easier to get an idea of, like, what buttons hit harder than others, and then, based on the fact that they might have a cooldown or require a resource, kind of get your head around, like, what you should be pressing when and how often. I love never knowing if I'm bad or not. Yeah, honestly, there is something very liberating about that, but, like, the WoW Mythic Raider in me is like, no, but how am I doing, though? Like, I can't take that part out of me, unfortunately. There's always a part of me that's wondering. But unless you're sitting there watching someone else play, it's hard to take notice of them doing stupid shit and try and help them. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know. I really do not learn by watching other people, and I would never ask someone to critique me by them sitting over my shoulder and watching how I'm doing my rotation, because, like, I don't know about other people, but it's really hard for me to kind of, like, put myself in the shoes of the person I'm watching and get why they're pressing certain buttons, if that makes sense. Not that it may not make visual sense, but, like, something as little as, like, when do you hit Energy Drain and Fester for Summoner? Some people might do that with a different priority to me, necessarily, and I just, like, I'll look at that and I'll go, like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? God, I really can't tank and look at chat at the same time. This is a problem. 15 years of WoW makes me biased. 5 years of WoW made me biased. But then again, I am also just a perfectionist in general, so, like, if you give me a way that I can, like, measure myself against, I will invariably try and improve. 100% support, no logs. I think the position 14 has put those kind of things in is actually a pretty decent spot. It's actually kind of clever. Because people who are using that to learn, like, to critique themselves or their fellow, you know, raid buddies, or, sorry, or, yeah, raid buddies, like, that's the sort of environment that, like, that stuff isn't going to get misused because it's either entirely isolated because it's just one person looking at their own performance, or it's a bunch of people who know each other, but like making sure that everyone else is kind of doing their part, right? I think having that stuff actually more or less bannable means that any person who's being a shit about them, it just gets insta-actioned, not necessarily banned, but insta-actioned because they are doing that. And that is an interesting way of deterring that kind of behavior. Do you mean... Oh, hang on a second. You know what? I wish I could join more of this conversation because... I like, every time I look at one person's, like, comment, I'm like, oh yeah, I could go on about that for like 5 minutes, and then the chat has advanced to the point that, like, I can't get fucking, caught up. You get banned even for fighting back against a toxic player. Parser shows the stuff that's not obvious, like low and uptime. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of things that aren't obvious, that are very obvious when you're looking for this. And, like, I might be biased because, like, I basically did this for the Warlock community to some degree when I was playing WoW still. I tried to do my best at doing that. I think I did a decent job, honestly. But there were definitely times where, like, actually, sorry, no, that's not related to this. But yeah, like, I think if it's for self-improvement purely, I think those things are really good. But obviously, it also creates the environment where people are trying to be better, and that invariably means that some people are going to try to do better than others, which means that some people are going to be toxic whenever they see someone A who's bad, or B that they get any, like, that they start appearing bad themselves and start, like, acting out toxically to everyone else when either they get called out on it or when they feel like they're being called out on it. It's, in my opinion, it's a pretty big price to pay for not having that toxicity and, like, not embedding that into the community culture. At the same time, though, I get it. If they don't want to be in the position where they're kind of encouraging that sort of stuff, yeah, fair. Like, I can't even argue because, holy shit, does stuff like logs and stuff turn people into absolute... say the word I was going to say there. It makes, in a lot of cases, it makes a lot of people who would otherwise be reasonable be completely unreasonable about the stupidest things. Let's put it that way. Oh shit, I just hit fucking... Look at that. I should not have been turning the bus. Like, I think I might actually, like, hold up on the leveling just a little bit to, like, actually go through the chat, because I don't have this conversation with many people who play 14 actively, and in fact, I don't even have this conversation a lot anyway, because, like, I think the only people I've, like, really touched upon it with is, like, Newest Girl and the people I raid with, and that's obviously a very narrow band of people. Excuse me, sir? I have threat up. Jesus Christ. Got some DPS in this group. Like, enemy is a little bit harder to maintain in this game than it is in WoW. But throwing out a provoke and then like an edge of darkness and that, and still not pulling an enemy off a person is kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, then again, I don't think Edge of Darkness actually does all that much damage compared to... Oh, no, it does a pretty good amount of damage. Nice. Alright, now I can actually catch up with chat. So... robes on my Dark Knight. Okay. Let's jump back to... Okay, sorry, you're gonna have to give me 2 seconds while I read through this again. So many people play this game unoptimally. Oh, I mean, listen, Valk... sorry, Veggie. Wait, were you here when I had that, like, hour run of... Fuck, what was it? That hour-long run of... Not Darkhold. Cutter's Cry, that was it. Like, yeah, I'm fully aware that, like, obviously, like, and, like, hell, like, I mean, people are gonna play how they want to play, and, like, if there's nothing, like, literally guiding them to do that, they're gonna latch on to whatever makes sense. And for me, I always try and, like, obviously try and play as best I can, try and understand the mechanics, how they work, and make sure that, like, I can play the best I can. Not everyone plays like that, and, like, that's fine. As long as they're not, like, obviously expecting to kind of step into, like, the most difficult content and then everyone just carry them through it. Like, I think there needs to be an expectation that you need to carry yourself, or you need to hold your own as well. Obviously that gets complicated, though. Anyway, it's maddening to watch. They are half elemental, half human. In the past, it used to be less than consenting. Yikes. No logs are in-game data, makes it hard to... Yep, I think that was one of the last things I responded to before it went places. Except they are. This is an entire quest line where the kid just happens to be... I don't know what that means, I'm sure I'll find out. 100% support no logs, but sometimes it's obvious things like Red Mage's hard casting Verth under the arrow. Oh yeah, I would 100% buy that people get caught out by that. Like Black Mage, I feel is like one of the best examples because it does like you can't look up what Astral Fire and Umbral Ice actually do. Like, when I stack it, what effect does that have? When I stack either of them, what effect does that have? What exact effect do they have baseline? Like, these things just kind of disappear or are only vaguely told to you in the, Black Mage, like... There's a little, like, help thing that tells you what the UI, special UI you get for them is. And, like... It's not enough sometimes to really, like, drill home, like, this is what happens when you're in Fire Phase for too long, this is what happens, or for a long period of time, this is what happens when you're on Umbral Ice for a long period of time. And that stuff kind of gets missed. Like, I had a discussion with someone in a dungeon early on when I was playing Dark Knight, that, like, yeah, they didn't really get how it was supposed to work. They thought that, like, oh yeah, my mana runs out, and I get a little bit back from my ice, so then I go back into fire immediately. And I had to point out that, like, well, no, if you keep casting ice, then you can stay in fire for a lot longer, and it's a little bit less haphazard to play, right? Which I believe is probably the intention, right? That you go ice fire like you do at the end game, but there's nothing keeping you in either of them outside of the MP at that point of the game. So it's a little bit loose. Not familiar with the quest line, just I love never knowing if I'm bad or not. I feel that. But unless you're sitting there watching someone else do it, I can look in the meter and go, well, the Black Mage did 1200 damage the whole fight, all ice, then you can bring it up then and there. Yeah, like, it's pretty obvious if someone is, like, just casting ice, like, okay, they're not playing right, because they're not engaging with literally half of the job. Yeah. If I remember, it was part of why the Gelmorans went underground. I know when I'm being a bad, but not having logs means people are more willing to work with me, and it makes me more willing to help other people. I mean, my only argument for logs existing is that once you get past the point of, the real basics, like things like, and to be clear, I don't know how much this applies to 14 more than WoW. Like, I'm still very much in the position where I have not raided long-term in F14. I don't look at my own play as much as I would like, with logs and stuff like that, because I just don't have any, to look through. But what I would say that logs also always provide is a very clear indication of what did happen. Because what can happen sometimes when you're trying to talk to people who are learning is that there's miscommunications. So when I say that you have a high uptime on Thunder, for example, some person might be like, oh, well, I apply it in every ice phase. It's like, okay, cool. That's pretty high. Like, are you casting it more often, though? It's like, well, no. It's only at the end of the ice phase. It's like, what are you doing with your procs? It's like, well, I use it when I'm going to cast it anyway, because it's just for free. It's like, well, maybe you should be doing it differently. And, like, understanding what exactly transpired, what a person actually did, and what could have happened instead, logs provide, like, a very concrete, consistent way of framing all of that. Which... yeah, like, obviously, for the, like, even then I would argue that, like, I can 100% still get behind the idea that casually that stuff just isn't visible and shouldn't ever be leveraged in public. Like, I can actually get 100% behind that, because one of the things I really fucking hated about WoW was when you were clearly in a, like, heroic for the first time, someone was there for the first time while they were leveling or something like that, or had just gotten to max level, someone walks in, and a player who's been there for so long, knows the game better, just starts calling someone trash because they're doing bad DPS. And it's the most infuriating fucking thing ever, because there is very little room for new players to learn with people like that. And because that is so prevalent, it either breeds that in that person themselves when they are trying to get good, or they just don't. And that's a fucking shame, in my opinion. Anyway. Kind of speed through the rest of this. 15 years of WoW, the WoW is hard to dissociate. Parser shows the stuff that's not obvious. Yeah, we talked about that. I watched a certain streamer do an extreme Ifrit with min eye level and no echo, and during the victory run, the other tank popped Living Dead to give the healer enough time to set off LB3, which saved the run. Yeah, actually, I think I know the thing you're talking about, and that was fucking nuts. That was great. That was hilarious. I said this, yeah, well, I think we all know who we're talking about, because, yeah. You get banned even for fighting back against a toxic player. I can't get a read on that guy at all, to be honest. Me neither. We can talk about that a little bit in a minute, but there's too much chat for me to kind of pick back up on. Yeah, and while you can use the tool properly, 5 other people are going to use those numbers to create a meritocracy, where if you can't produce these specific numbers Without help, all the time, you don't deserve to be part of it. Yeah, no, you are 100% right. And even if I say, like, that behavior is bannable either way. Yeah. Yeah, and they do take that shit seriously. And I think that's actually one of the good things about where that stuff is honestly sits, because it enforces that, like, look, if you use it in your own group of people, right, that know, or you just use that yourself and you never tell anyone, okay, whatever. The second you start doing that shit publicly, gone. Like, it does suck because it can't be a more, hey, you should get this to make sure that if you're interested in improving, you should get this, because, like, you can't really suggest doing that, right? Like, you're probably not going to get banned for suggesting doing that, but at the same time, if that person happens to turn into a fucking asshole because of that, then that also sucks, but they'll probably get banned for it. Like, I don't know, like, that behavior was really rife in WoW, and it did make a little bit more sense in WoW, because in high-level stuff you needed way more people. Like, that's literally the only thing I can give it where it's like, okay, you probably need some way of, like, filtering people out a bit more that doesn't take weeks upon weeks, right, to figure out. Even then, like, he's been in a few groups with people who are clearly causing things to take longer, and he refused to kick them out, so that is enough for me to say about his character online is a bit of a tool. We can talk about that if I get to the end of this shit, ever. Yeah, he seems like a totally, Wait, is that... Oh, no. What? Oh. Streamlabs froze. Thanks, Streamlabs. Love you. The Doc Robin. Or the Docrobin? Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Streamlabs is terrible. Yeah, I just found out more shit about Streamlabs today. I would highly recommend not using Streamlabs. Use OBS Studio. It's the less cut down version, there's less shit in it, and you can do everything customizable but better in Streamlabs Studio. That's my recommendation for the day. He seems like a totally different person on and off stream, more so than the average streamer. I mean, okay, obviously I can't guess, but, like, it wouldn't surprise me if some of the circumstances where a streamer is being more unreasonable is just kind of trying to react to chat in the moment. Like, I try and resist that as much as I can, because I'm trying to become, like, more considered and eloquent whenever I'm, like, talking about things. So, doing the knee-jerk sort of reaction to that is not conducive to that, obviously. But I do understand that, like, there would be definitely an incentive to do that, because it usually makes your stream, like, appear a lot more active if you're just, like, reacting all the time, obviously. In casual play, I don't mind at all, but it was a massive deterrent for me as a mythic WoW raider to try and even attempt 14 raiding, because there was no metric to measure myself against. Am I shit bad? Am I carrying the group? Who knows? Yeah, and I mean, to some degree, the ambiguity just means that, like, you've just got to try your best and make sure that, like, everyone else is trying their best, and there isn't, like, it creates a lot more of a we all fail or we all win scenario, right? If less people are looking at that and only seeing if the boss dies or not, it tends to make the group feel a little bit more collective and not, like, trying to start pointing fingers. Now, obviously, I think being able to pinpoint what went wrong is important, but if there was some halfway between these two that didn't end up with, like, a lot of people just shitting on people because they were bad, that's a different thing entirely. Second channel has no camera. Yeah. That already happens. Doesn't matter if it's in-game or not. Doubt any static doesn't have at least one person parsing. Yeah, I watched the video. Okay, yeah. You say that, but if you are caught parsing and believe you me, if you tell someone that they aren't producing XYZ numbers, it's logged in your chat and a square DM will ban you in a heartbeat. Right, but again, that's specifically like making it public and making it a problem for people. If someone is just parsing, I don't know if they'd actually make a big deal out of it. From what I hear, you get banned if you start making comments about it, right? Like, if you're just doing it, like, my understanding is that they really don't want to get into the situation where they're, like, installing things on people's PCs to make sure they're not doing shit like that. So basically, if it ever comes to light that you're a shithead because of that shit, you're out. If you're just doing it and not doing anything with it, that's my understanding, obviously, and that is obviously not an endorsement because you can get banned for that, potentially. So, yeah. I mean, for 92k viewers, subscribers, it's worth acting like a tool. True, but it doesn't stop that toxic behavior. It pushes it to Discord or similar platforms. That is true. However, again, I feel like I think there's still advantages to keeping it out of anything that could be seen by the player in question. Like, I think trying to cultivate a more helpful community is obviously going to help the game in the long term, because if the game is welcoming to people who are new and who get better, that just means more people are going to go and try more difficult things, because there are more people helping them get to the point that they can do that. And I think keeping out, like, that really toxic shit is probably still worth it, even if it does push it elsewhere. The question is whether or not that's acted upon it back into the game, and even then, all of that stuff would be bannable, right? Like, if you were being a shithead to someone for no reason, you're probably going to get banned. Now, there would be less, like, evidence that you were, you know, potentially using something to gain an idea of someone's, like, performance to shit on them. But if you're harassing them for, like, no reason whatsoever, you're probably still gonna get banned, right? Does it prevent it? I play both, and when looking at, it doesn't stop it, but it does prevent some of it, and that makes a difference. Don't believe me, look at the difference between WoW and 14. Well, yeah, and I kind of already, like, spoke to that in terms of, like, pushing it off of, like, the literal chat does have an effect. I guess, like, the question is whether or not, like, that is something that ultimately allows people to be in the position to maybe consider getting, well, not consider getting better, but, like, get into a position where they're thinking more about how to get better than if someone is literally telling them they're a piece of shit, you know? Does it prevent it? I play both, and when looking at high-end players on both, it's not much diff. It also means that if I see someone not playing optimally, I can't tell them. Well, I mean, and there's like, cultural differences between that, too, because we are currently playing on a JP server, and it's obviously rude to, like, be forward with criticism for them. Like, if someone, like, because if someone told me that, I'd be fine with it, like, if I was legitimately doing something wrong. But that seems to not be the mindset. And that aside, yeah, I don't know, like, there are probably still ways to, like, critique someone's play enough in-game by, like, looking at debuffs and casts and stuff like that to be able to give help without having to pull out a literal DPS meter. Yeah. Like, obviously I'm attached to the fact that logs are a really powerful tool to learn. But, yeah, I guess, like, I don't even know where I draw the line in the sand for, like, where it becomes, like, a necessary tool for getting better. Like, obviously Savages and Ultimates would probably be the first thing, but whether or not it extends below that's a really difficult question. I really only care about performance in high-end content. A lot of content in this game is super easy to clear, even if you have an Ice Mage dragging their feet, which is true. My thing, though, is that if I can see the little things in my play before I get to high-end raid and notice that, like, certain things work, certain things don't, that's only advantageous to me at the end of the day, right? It creates a lot more opportunity for me to learn early, and then when more complex things come along, I don't have to, like, there's less barriers for me to actually learn. It doesn't know. It means that Joe, there's an equivalent Warcraft logs, has most of the features. Yeah, I have heard about it. It doesn't, though. It means that Joe can berate Jill because his numbers are bigger. It means when Joe can tell the raid that Harry is trash because he's not healing as well as Mark, they should dump him and get a new person. I mean, it... Well, again, kind of like black magic. It's powerful or not depending on... Or it's destructive or not depending on who's wielding it. But, like, in terms of, like, blanket policy, like, I don't... Like I said, I'm definitely on board because in everything before you get to Savages, it removes a problem I really felt WoW had with the way its community treated newer players. Because all they saw was the number, and if the number were low, bad. No, can't have number low. And, like, some people would be legitimately unreasonable about that. I was a Mythic Raider since vanilla, but I also ran a huge social guild on the side because I hated the elitist fuckwits that were just plain toxic to new players. Most of them were mid-tier players at best, and just angry toxic fuckwits. Yeah. Actually, one of the things I think I realized later on is, like, the very top tier, actually pretty decent people. People who were going through, like, mythics at their own pace and not, like, super kind of, like, competitive, but were, like, looking at their own play and very clearly trying to get better. Also really good people. There's a level of Mythic Raider that is just an absolute trash fire to be around. Luckily, I have almost never interacted with those people, but I have been in a couple of pub groups where they have been. Let's just say calling people out for logs is the least of their problems, and leave it at that. Went out of my way to make sure new players had somewhere to go where they could, yeah. And, like, I feel like that's a side effect of what they've done with, like, how they treat add-ons and stuff like that at the moment, because, again, they sit in a weird spot where any indication that you have used them and use that information to berate someone means that you're fucking out. Like, it's a unique thing about that, where you can technically probably have a lot of high-end players who are using it and not using it for anything else. Cries and Sheer. Okay, listen, that was out of frustration and nowhere near the kind of fucking shit I have seen in other pugs. Like, Shiho did not deserve that. I was frustrated as fuck. For context, we were doing, like, the last boss on a mythic raid, and there was, like, one night where I just had it. I usually have my mic muted. I didn't, and I yelled out at one player for, like, standing near me with a mechanic when they shouldn't have. And, oh, damn it. He may not have actually fucked that up again, but that doesn't mean that what I did we were 400 wipes deep in Mythic Argus. Yeah. And it was just phase 1, someone stood next to me where they shouldn't have, and I was like, fucking come on! Don't do this to me. Anyway. Yep. Logs can be used positively, and a few times it is, but more often than not, they are used to be shits, and not having them makes a difference. I would say in, like, public duty finder situations, that is true. I would be surprised if that persisted into the high end as much as it does in WoW in 14. I would be very surprised to learn that, to be honest. But behavior just bannable anyway, and I think we're down here where Doc Robin followed. I can see someone is shit because they're low on enmity. Doc Robin, I'm assuming Streamlabs is terrible. Lol. WoW introduced it in vanilla as a mod, and they are unlikely to remove something that the player base relies so heavily on. Can I share my favorite bad joke with everyone? Sure, go for it. We've had enough of me sitting here and talking about the differences between 14 and WoW to fill a good, like, 20 minutes of a stream. What's the difference between a rundown bus station and a lobster with breast implants? What? I'm actually a little annoyed at myself for not picking that. Not gonna lie. If you must find out if you are able to do mechanic yourself, or if you do enough DPS, there are places like that. The issue is, can you handle 3 or so mechanics in a sequence while holding the required DPS? Target dummy is nice. They made a quasi-dungeon in Heavenswood to help players improve for raids. Really? Yeah, that raid was generally pretty... That guild was generally pretty chill. I would say there's like 1 or 2 people in there that... But that's eons ago, and I don't care anymore. Oh man, nothing made me yell at someone more than him ruining my immortal run for the 2nd time on Kel'Thuzad. Oh, fucking rip. Felt like an asshole, but Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Okay, I got to the bottom of chat. Now I can do another dungeon. Oh god. Sorry, like, I try not to derail the stream like that too much, but when discussion's happening that I don't usually get to talk about that can help me, like, think through my own positions, I think it's, like, a really valuable opportunity to, like, take that moment to kind of talk through things. Because, like, I generally have a pretty bad time articulating things in a timely manner, so me thinking about these things more often so that I don't have to think about it too much more in the future means that I can hopefully have snappier responses to things. And just communicate myself better. Anyway, I'm gonna hit this dinosaur for the next few minutes. Be a nice cleanse from, like, that reading for, like, 20 or so minutes. God. Oh, hi, everyone. What is that, a machinist and a snore? Actually, I should probably be, just so the AoE doesn't hit any of them. I guess, like, the one thing I'll add to all of that is that the very little bit of Savage raiding that I have done, after a while, it does become very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not rote or rhythmic, it's like, you basically figure out the dance you should be, or the buttons you should be pressing at what times, like, you know, when cooldowns are going to come off cooldown at inconvenient times and what to do in those situations. But in the same way, it can be very easy to slip into bad habits doing that, or that not realizing that, like, if you're not watching your buffs and stuff correctly, there's actually a better option you could be doing. And, like, logs would help in that scenario. And it is one part of Savage rating that, like, did kind of feel a bit weird, because my performance was a lot less tangible, and as a person who really likes to improve, that didn't feel good to me. But again, there's obviously a lot of reasons that's the case. And I'm certainly not going to be like, well, obviously they shouldn't be bannable at all just based on that, because, yeah, I think there is like a pretty decent argument to keep a lot of that stuff out of the immediacy of the game, the immediate sort of experience of the game. You're doing alright for your first time at Savages. I hope so. Like, because I, like, knew the summoner rotation to a pretty decent degree. I think one of the things, like, I definitely need to improve on is, like, adjusting between Dreadworm, Trance, Bahamut, and Firebird phases. But yeah, Savage is different in that your personal ability is far better measured by handling each of your personal mechanics correctly. That's definitely true. Like, literally everyone in the raid needs to do their bit. It's not like in WoW where it's like, did you get selected for the mechanic? No? Then you can just keep doing DPS. It's like, no, everyone has to do something. Which I do like, actually. And you do get to do that. Oh my god, it's another mage. Like I said, it wouldn't be doing fates in Heavensward if you weren't running into a blue mage every 10 minutes. Like, it is something that's, like, core to the design to some degree, because you can rely on all 8 people more than you can rely on all 20 people in different situations. So, like, yeah, I helped some newer players farm O4S recently, less players, more personal responsibility. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, like, again, like, I may have different thoughts on this once I, like, play the game for a bit longer and go through some, like, a decent amount of raiding and whatnot, but I think, like, at least initially, I appreciate the differences. It'll probably take me a long time to figure out whether or not, like, I actually like. Because at the very least, they're novel, and I will almost always give a game a lot of room to be itself, and for me to try and meet it where it is, before being like, okay, no, this is bad, or anything like that. I just wasted MP. But yeah, I think this stream in particular has just been, like, indicative of, like, most of my streams, right? Where I'm going through 14 pretty regularly. Something happens, and then I sit down for, like, 20 to 30 minutes in total over, like, the course of, like, maybe 45 minutes an hour, and just talk. Obviously interacting with chat a fair bit, but, like, really just kind of using all of that as a jumping off point to, like, think about other things. That's my streams in a nutshell. Me, like, taking a lot of time to really think about, like, things no one else thinks of until, or, sorry, not a lot of other people spend a lot of their time thinking about. Thanks, buddy. Oh no, I didn't forget to queue. I've just got tons of people. Well, I've just got a really long queue. And you have my Black Mage leveling stream. Yes. Sorry, what? The nuts? Beg your pardon? Oh no. Go away, I'm just trying to do fates. Kept accidentally pressing Blizzard 2 trying to cycle targets. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Oh, no worries, Charles. Hope you have a good day. Hope work is bearable. Fuck, that was the word I was trying to think of when Dean was leaving. Shit. When an hour later you remember what you were trying to... Remember the words you were trying to use. Fuck. Hell yeah. Oh, I spirit bound with the thing. I was wondering what that little effect was. I was like, I don't think I leveled up. I don't think that's what that was. Hey, he called me slow. It do feel like that sometimes, let me tell you. Homer, what are you doing? Are you still sitting there? Something was said. Oh boy, you're slow. Something was said. Not good. I'm actually surprised I remember that bit as close to get out of my house. The new Simpsons may have aged like milk, but the old shit still fucking hits hard. I will maintain that until it also ages like milk, I guess. Yeah. Like, The Simpsons has been playing for as long as I've been alive, which is fucking wild to me. Futurama will always be my favorite. Futurama was like a good distilled thing, honestly, and like, I feel like as much as people wanted that to continue, I'm kind of glad it didn't, because if it ever went anywhere near as bad as The Simpsons, I'd probably hate it a lot more. Just because there's like a lot of more hindsight you could probably apply to it, you know? Can't wait till spring. Yeah, just... What was it, 2 weeks? Was it 2 weeks? I can't remember. Oh my god. Okay, time to watch this Fate mob vanish into the distance before I can fly. I fly out August. Oh, right. Sorry, I was thinking of a different date. I was definitely thinking... are you sit... Thank you. I was about to say, what the hell? Wait, what? Oh, there's another Fate right here. Oh, and there's the dungeon. Oh my god, shut up. Oh, man. Phone's going off. Whereabouts in Australia are you? I am in, Victoria. So we had some great news today. But yeah, newest girl is currently in Korea. Go somewhere. Okay. I am going to pull a lot. See how we go. Actually, this dungeon's, like, pretty tame in terms of, like, big things you can do. Just because of the walls. But... I feel kind of bad for not sitting all of those mobs in the field. It's going to be interesting trying to catch streams back in the States. Yeah. I imagine if you're trying to do any job that's during the daytime, you're probably going to have a rough time watching the stream. Fair enough. Yeah, Sydney gave you a present. I'm in Queensland. Thankfully, we're just watching, waiting for some idiot from Northern Beaches to come visit all up. Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait. Like, what really sucks is that we were more or less, like, getting out of a lockdown at the moment, and then, yeah, some idiot from, or a couple of people from, Sydney were moving, and suddenly, no, more shit in Victoria now. Well, I won't have to work for a year. Oh, that's right. Oh, no, oh, sorry, no, that's not right. I read the next line and went, classes will be the issue, yeah, I imagine. But that's really cool that you actually get, like, free housing during your schooling. Sure would love one of those vaccinations for the TV ad to tell me how selfish was getting. I could go on, but I won't, because I've spent far too much energy thinking about that today, and I don't want to anymore. Like, so, ordinarily during the week, I want to stream Persona 5 Strikers. I usually play FF14 on Fridays, and then on the weekend I play, like, a lot of story-focused games. At the moment I'm playing Virtue's Last Reward. But, like, during the week, especially, like, the last couple of weeks, I've had some, like, rough ones where I haven't been as energetic, so I'm just like, you know what, we'll chill with a 14 stream, right? So this is kind of what that was before D raided, and I was like, oh fuck, there's 27 people in chat right now. Which, once again, like, I am actually really appreciative of, because it did more for my day than a chill 14 stream ordinarily would. I'm not using mitigation again, like, fool. No, Wolfie. Friday is mystery game day. You know, I was going to respond to that tweet of yours, newest girl, and I'm glad I didn't, considering what happened tonight. But if you hadn't been here tonight, and, like, on Friday I did nothing but a Persona 5 Striker stream, I probably would have replied to that like, you fucking thought. Yeah, and I'm pre-approved for a home loan with no down payment because I sold my soul for 4 years. Fuck me. I mean, that's definitely a positive, but... makes me kind of sad that that's such, like, a selling point. That, like, hey, you won't get fucked by housing. Wow. And what do I have to do? God, yeah, I definitely hit the wall suddenly. And I, like, look up and it's like 10 o'clock, so yeah, that tracks. Like, I get up at like 7 for work, so... But only if you sell your soul to the military. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to reality. Not quite as enjoyable as you'd hoped. Much more depressing than you'd think. Oh my god. Wait, was the white mage tearing threat off me? Oh, I guess they had, like, my health to heal and then they were doing, like, AoE. They probably could have if I wasn't focusing things. That makes sense. Oh, god damn it. Oh, or it's the summoner. Alright, you know what? If it's the summoner that's actually pulling crap off me, I'm perfectly fine with that. Only because I like summoners a lot. Oh, that was cool. They were already stunned. Hope you enjoyed your stay. It's good to have you with us, even if it's just for the day. Wait, fuck. What is that? Why does that ring a bell? I know you're referencing something, but it's gone at this point. Let's kill this one. Right. Yes. I know the kill this. Been using salted earth. Wow, I went from like, it's crazy. I went from being like, ah yes, this should be up all the time because I used to play a Death Knight, to I don't remember when this is up anymore, so I guess I'm not using it ever. Yes, I've heard of the killer's look. Shut the fuck up. I already feel old enough as it is. I turned 30 in March. A lot of my friends are getting married or having kids, and it's just like very confronting in some ways. Yay! 56. You know what? We will do this tonight. I'll do the quest. It should be pretty short. They usually... what am I getting again? Right. I get a heal on a 60-second cooldown. Hooray! Just teasing. I got married before all my friends. Damn. And I know you're just teasing, but... just at the moment, it's like the fact that my very late 20s and early 30s are probably going to be predominantly defined by pandemic, like, fucking sucks. Can only make the most of it and try and improve things as we go. Oh my god, please get off the wall, sir. This is a dungeon. Why did I say that like this, this service is a Wendy's? I don't know why, I just... This is what happens when I actually stream on no energy. It's just, there's no filter anymore, it's just... The brain just runs. No, fuck. Can you disable right-clicking, Oh, no, you probably can't. Did I ever tell you my wife called me out for being trans years before I accepted it? No. No, you didn't. It's definitely been a theme of, like, some people, like, reflecting on, like, realizing and things like that, that, like, some other people had them pegged for it long before it actually happened. And then it happens, and it's like, oh, people knew before I did. It's funny how that works. This white mage is... I love this white mage so much. Well, okay, so it's probably just the way you're, like, kind of... Taught's probably not the word, but, like, expected to play white mage, where, like, you're just sitting in on big packs, like, spamming holy. But when we were in the early dating phase, she was like, so are you trans? And I was like, no, of course not. And then she said, I bet you're gender fluid at minimum. Such a strange revelation, but yeah, the people closest to you would definitely have a way of sensing things sometimes. It probably depends on the people too, right? Because there'd obviously be people who, like, wouldn't think of that at all because they're, like, so out of, like, LGBTQ spaces, or even thinking that that's a thing that, like, it would never kind of click, right? Yeah, like, I guess it definitely depends on the crowd, but, like, when you are in a community that is accepting of that, there tend to be a lot of people, from what I understand, or from what I've heard from other trans people, that, like, no, people start to pick it out. It's like one of those things, like, generally that, like, worries me is that, like, well, sorry, let me be clear. In general, the idea that I might really not notice something about the way I act or something like that actually legit frightens me. Because I feel like, especially when I've been shitty, no one helped the summoner. Cool. Because genuinely, some of the ways that I've been, like, the most, like, awful to people, or, like, have caused people distress and shit like that, has been just not getting that I was doing something. So, like, obviously it's a very different thing to what we were just discussing, but the idea that I could be, like, acting in a way that I don't understand actually has indications of other things. Oh god, yeah, this is getting a bit too cool. It's probably not, like, entirely accurate. I worry about not being able to self-reflect. Put it that way. It's probably the easiest way to express it. And then when she I've literally known for years, dummy. That's funny. Yeah, younger me was ignorant as fuck. I'm glad I grew up from that shit. Aging definitely gave me that time needed to just stop and think about something. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I'm glad I'm in a better place now to like pick that shit up pretty early on. Like, I've had to reflect on like what I do a lot over the years, and that has like obviously just helped me identify that shit sooner. Ray. Okay, we'll do the Dark Knight quest and then I think I'll call it for the night, because I'm slowly fading, as was probably obvious. White mage is getting it. Jesus, I'm hitting buttons wrong now. There we go. Okie dokie. Sorry, I'm missing stuff on Discord right now. Yes. Alright. Round 3 of trying to figure out what's up with Riel. Oh, excuse me. I can taste the burger. I'm just incredibly grateful I grew up before everyone had cameras and recording devices with 24/7 and any chance of a future I could have wasn't destroyed because of some idiotic shit I said 15 years ago. I mean, I feel like I wasn't to that degree. Like, I've said, like, dumb things. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to judge it, too, because, like, the things I do specifically, I feel like are very dumb, and not necessarily because they're, like, objectively bad or stupid or anything like that, but just because I did them. Like, I tend to be very self-critical, so, like, sometimes it's hard for me to judge, but I definitely get where you're coming from. My wife is my biggest supporter, and I can't wait until I get home to her. I can only imagine. Like, you've been in Korea now for, like... Wait, were you in Korea? No, you weren't in Korea when you first came to my stream, right? I think you were in Korea only, like, halfway through? Oh, no, you were. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I bet then. Sudoku recognizes the desperate times called for desperate measures. I've been thinking around. The Padgel likened Riel's spiritual presence to that of a Dravanian, hence why he suggested she had partaken of dragon blood. Regardless of the cause, if she does hold some affinity with dragons, she will never be safe here in Ishgard. If, being the operative word, of course. We need to know for certain, which means we must parley with a Dravanian. It will not be easy, I realize. Dravanians are not wont to entertain outsiders, especially ones hailing from Ishgard. What about Iceheart? You've spoken with their leaders. Beg pardon, I did not think you would so readily admit it. Well, pray lead the way, Rayon. It was temporary in Guam when I first found out. Oh, right. That must be what I was thinking of. Oh, no, we're going to speak with Vidofnir. Right. Yeah, Iceheart would have been a bit on the nose, honestly. Oh god, that would have been sad. Oh god, if Izelle appears in this quest line after all of the shit that we know, all of the times I've gone through Heaven's Sword and all the way up to Shadowbringers now, I think I might cry. The 14 patch was imminent and I didn't have my PlayStation, so I filtered for LGBT and sorted lowest views to highest. Aww. Yeah, that sounds about right. Honestly, sometimes, like, I mean, it's a really generic. It is somewhat of a common thing, I think, like, sometimes in groups of people I know. But sometimes I wonder whether I should actually be putting, like, the LGBT tag on me, even on my stream, even if I do fall under that being, like, pansexual and that. But then there are times like that where, like, I wouldn't have, like, talked to Newest Girl at all if that hadn't been the case, and I'm like, well, okay, something good came out of it at least. You know? I can't keep feeling bad about it if, like, people have had a good time coming to my stream because of that, you know, like, yeah. Thou keepest curious company, mortal. I see. Though I trust in thy words, thy companions are unknown to me. A token, then, for them to declare their intent. I would have them gather up Gron Alm in Avalonia Fallen and bring it to me. But where the beasts which are drawn by their fragrance. Alrighty then. Right then. Gathering flowers for a dragon. No point in questioning it. Riel and I will search the lands north of here together. You could take the south. Alright. That is not the way out. You dummy. Oh god, I forgot that was there in this place. Like, I think the second you hit 5.4, this thing appears there. Fun fact, this quest being done flagged a bug in the first near raid that caused a red dragon to appear after clearing it. What? I'm sorry? Like, hang on. So if you did this quest when you went to clear the near raid, a red dragon would spawn. An uninteractable red dragon would just be in the arena. The last boss of the first wing of the near raid is, oh god, I forget the name of the machine in particular. But it's like the big, it's like one of the huge machines with like the saw arms. Oh no, it's 9S. Okay. I need to ask something. Did people think that that was an intentional thing and started reading into that a lot? Because a red something appearing in that situation... Yeah. Well, okay. Not specifically Drakengard. The thing that comes to mind for me is an Automata thing again. But it is or sorry, let me rephrase that. The specific instance of something just appearing, I think of Automata, but this is obvious. But the reason that is even a thing to begin with, so something that could just show up in Automata, is because of things across Drakengard and Nier. That's nuts. And I'm glad I could immediately think... I'm glad the first thought to my mind was like, you're saying something red spawned in a Nier raid accidentally? Accidentally, uh-huh. Yeah, accidentally. Yoko Taro, you accidentally spawned that there? Really? Are you sure? Such fragile, fleeting creations. Bring them close, mortal, that I might breathe deep of their essence. That which passes into death liveth on in memory. One prepareth now for the journey. Bid farewell to her in morn and find the answer thou seekest. I'm sorry? Yoko Taro recently said it was intentional, but that he is also a liar. Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Fucking asshole. I swear to God. Oh, man. Yoko Taro is one of those one of those prominent figures in the games industry that still gives me, like, hope that, like, not all the life has been sucked out of it. There are a few people that do that, obviously, but the fact that Yoko Taro is just 100% either talking bullshit or on his bullshit every single moment he appears in an interview is just, bless that man. Let me linger a while longer, Hunter. Soon my soul shall take wing. I shall miss this. Vidofnir bade you come to me. His scent intertwined. Ah, I see now. We seek no quarrel, O Ancient One, only answers. Come forward, child. There you are, my beloved. Oh, how long hath it been since we soared through the mists? What did you say? Silence, Dark One. He liveth on in you, child. The blood of my beloved flowereth strong in thy veins. Yet, mingled as it is, 'twas not thee who partook of his essence. Were it not so, thou wouldst have been overcome. Thy progenitors drank deep to spur their own becoming. Then it's true. And the Temple Knights knew. Then they will never stop. They cannot, even if we flee Ishgard. If we could but harness the Abyss. Thou speakest strange, Dark One. What dost thou seek? Oh, just... listen. Just trying to bring out the Abyss that lives in all of our souls to... Wow, I really wanted to avoid making a Dark Souls reference there, but, like, fucking... That's actually not... Moving on. Oh, shrouded in thy rancor, thou standest apart from thy charge. The folly of youth. Even the tiny beings who frolic in the mists of Som Al know a better way. What? Who? No more, Dark One. No more. Farewell, child. Fly free for us. Goodbye. Thank you. There's not more for us here. To Ishgard. He also egged Yoshi P into leaking Final Fantasy 16 deets on stream. Again, bless that man. An absolute gift. Ah, the Heavensward theme makes me sad. That was such a good kid. I mean, yeah, it's like exceedingly this story is like kind of exceedingly fucked up when you think about it. Because like one of the things you find out in Heavensward is that many Ishgardian, like if not all Ishgardians, have taken upon, or have had dragon essence within them, such that if they drank dragon's blood, they would become dragons, like literally. So the idea that this kid was being forced into doing that as well, and maybe not with the intention to literally become a dragon, but maybe prime her to become one, is really fucked up. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. This changes nothing. I swore an oath to protect her, and I mean to uphold it, no matter the cost. So these are the knights who would defy the will of Halone. She's found us. My lady surely knows she will find few friends here. Blessed are we who abide in her grace, for we shall never be forsaken. One day, I, Estride, It's been a while since I've had to pronounce Ishgardian names. Estride de Colignon shall walk in her halls, and you shall answer for your deeds. Will you stand before her and claim that you were righteous? That it was just to take so many lives in defense of that abomination? Repent of your sins and surrender it to me. The Fury may yet spare your souls. So yours is the righteous cause? To condemn a girl to death for her parents' deeds. This is the will of Halone? Yes. Yes, it is. If you will not see reason, even with full knowledge of the facts, then I make to you all a final offer. Submit to a trial by combat. I've done that once before. You'll all get flattened. Survive, and you may go in peace. Fall, and it is mine. Refuse, and I will put this tavern to the torch and have the heads of every man, woman, and child here. Anyone who dares harbor you will suffer the same, here or elsewhere. This I swear to you. Would that we could settle this here and now, but I'd wager your men at the door would take offense. As you wish, my lady. You shall have your trial. I shall send a message with details. Mother... Mother. Wait. I should have had them cut out your tongue. She was calling her own daughter it. Riel, what in the seven hells is going on? She told them to take me. She said I wasn't hers. That I was... Why didn't you tell me this was all your mother's doing? I bled for you. Frey died for you. We had a right to know. I didn't mean for... God damn it all. Good job, Satogu. Leave us, Rayan. I need time to think. Yeah, good fucking job keeping it together there, Satogu. I'm sure she doesn't feel like any more of a piece of shit because of all this. An anger you know all too well smolders within Satogu. Oh dear. Wait, do I not get anything for 58? Wait, really? Huh? Inappropriate post time, yes. We may have just learned that this young child's own mother is trying to get her, like, treated like it was she was the spawn of Satan, but I'm still gonna henshin after this battle because I learnt something new. Sudoku's not really a people. Oh no, it 100% makes sense, but like, God. Like, Sudoku has absolutely been painted as the kind of person that... Fuck. Like, even Frey, who... Well, I guess they technically weren't Frey, but up until this point, the manifestations of and the people who are Dark Knights don't have a filter. They will just go off. Sudoku is great, though. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Anyway, it's getting really late. I should go to bed. Yeah, so thank you very much for those who came on with the raid from DCD, who, once again, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. That made this night a whole lot more bearable, let me tell you. I just read a Hard Times article about trans girl comes out to family with a magical girl transformation sequence. That's all I can think about with the posing. Oh, right. God, that's really good though. That's a great idea. Yeah, I do really appreciate the people who stuck around. So I stream at least like 2 or 3 times during the week and 2 times on weekends. So tomorrow night, I'm hoping I'll actually play Strikers. I'm planning on it at least. And then on the weekend, don't think I'm going to be going to that wedding this weekend because of lockdown. So we'll probably have 2 days of Virtue's Last Reward. Nice meeting you. We'll try and catch you around sometime. Peace. No worries, Milky. Again, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so tomorrow night, Persona 5 Strikers. And then Saturday, Sunday, a little bit earlier in the day for me, we'll be playing Virtue's Last Reward. Hopefully, internet permitting. And then it'll be a new week. And hopefully a bit better than the last one. Although, the way this one's going, it's probably going to roll over into next week, which I'm not looking forward to. But sometimes that's just the way it be. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. Hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time. Actually, you know what? We've got like 7 people. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. I gotta remember to actually do that more often. Like, I have this really bad habit of like, especially at this kind of night, there's barely anyone streaming. In fact, probably no one to raid. But like, I've got to make it more of a habit of actually like checking if there's someone to raid, especially if I've got more than a few people. But raiding's how I find people. I never browse Twitch. Yeah, like, I usually find other people through Discords and stuff like that. Every now and then, like, there are certain games that I will actually look through the directory to see who's playing what. Danganronpa's one of them. Or the Danganronpa games are one of them. I found a few streamers that I've followed ever since because of that. But yeah, I get you 100%. And that's why I do want to raid people, because I want to show people that there are some cool people who stream that I know could probably use the viewership. Hey, a friend of mine plays that. He's streaming at the moment. Oh, really? Oh, he's not streaming it at the moment, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a shame, because I was going to be like, guess who's getting raided, but yeah. I gravitate to people streaming any FF game and sort with the previous mentioned filters. Yeah, true. You know what? Why not? Why not? I'm feeling good, and we should at least pass this on to someone. There aren't many opportunities for me to fucking no. Go Twitch. Stop it. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I was having trouble like trying to get to like searching for fucking anything. No, not that. Crash 4. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You know what? Fuck it. We'll raid them. So long as they're, like, actually going to be continuing on. Although... What are they doing right now? That doesn't look like Crash 4. They might, I don't know if they're wrapping up, but... Because if I didn't know any better, this is the kind of thing that a lot of people would do to, like, finish up the stream or something. But it could also be a points reward, and I don't want to, like... Because one of the things I really, really don't want to do either is, like, I'm trying to avoid doing it, but... Oh, that's Stream Raiders. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Is it like a PvE game now that I think about it? Or is that just like one of those things that like chat kind of joins in on? Oh, unless it's like a mobile game of some kind. Maybe? Fuck, I don't know. I think it's like a game chat can play. Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me, but... God, that's like incredibly elaborate if it is actually a stream game. Or like a game that's like run through chat or whatever. Huh. Okay, sorry, I got really distracted by that, because, like, yeah, you put little units down and every 30 minutes the streamer starts the battle. Oh, okay, right. So another one wouldn't happen until... I see. Oh, yeah, and then there's the thing in the chat that's doing that. This... Okay, I should stop doing this. Sorry, I'm like getting distracted and I'm like fascinated by this thing, because like... It's... Okay, they're back to Crash now, at least. Because like, it looked like it had like Game Boy, like, original graphics, and I was like, fucking, what am I looking at? I'm seriously confused, but no. Yeah, why not? We'll raid them. Oh, fuck. Did I spell that right? Hold on. You said it in chat, Malky. P-H-A-L-A-T. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, like, in other circumstances, if someone I knew, was there, and I had a few people to kind of pass on, I'd probably pass it on to them, but, like, he's also a Victorian. Oh, goody. Yeah, so that'll be good. Yeah, but, like, I want to pass it on when I can, and if people from chat have got, like, people they suggest, then, yeah, sure. Why the hell not? But, yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching live on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.